So
All right.
would like to introduce yourself and your occupation?
My name's Carol Scott, and I am one of the visual art teachers here at Omaha South.
Okay. The first question I'm going to ask you is, what makes art special to you?
I have found now, this is my 30th year of teaching, so I've been around for forever, longer than you guys have been alive, but I find that art is a therapy. It is a way to communicate and express your emotions and your feelings without having to use words. And a lot of people, especially high schoolers, have a hard time communicating with words.
Okay. Is everyone capable to make art, and if so, why?
Oh, absolutely. It's a form of communication. It depends on how much you hone your skill, just like basketball, anything. You can't just go out there and be a starter without practicing. So it takes practice and time. And students that say, oh, but those people are really good at art, they have worked at it. They've honed their skills, practiced, and improved their art. So anyone can make art. The level of ability technically depends on how much work you put in.
Has art had a big impact in your life, and if so, how?
Oh, absolutely. I was very math and science centered in high school. I had a horse accident, got kicked in the head by a horse. I've told you the story, but it just made math and science, I could still do it, still had a 4.0 in college, but I just didn't feel fulfilled. I didn't feel happy at a desk job, sitting there not interacting and not creating. And creating, it's the process that I love, the product. Students always ask me, well, where's your examples? Can I have your example? I'm like, no, I'm throwing it away. They're like, you're not taking it home? Your house isn't filled with art, your own art? Why do I want to look at my own art? It's about the process of making, not the product.
Should anything a person creates be considered art?
That's a difficult question in the fact of just because you make it. I say this a lot in my classroom. Just because you make it, it's not the walls up here and the galleries are not mama's fridge. So just because you make it doesn't mean that it's display worthy, okay? Mm-hmm. But if you are expressing yourself, there is a valid reason. I'm big on personal expression. So if you're making something because, like your doodles, a lot of times have personal expression in it. So then I say, let's take it to the art level. So doodles usually have a good foundation, but a pre-sketch, and then turn it into an artwork.
How could art be used to express emotion?
Oh, I think most anything. If you're doing step-by-step projects where the teacher says, okay, now everybody's going to do this and everybody's going to do that, you are completely out of it. You are out of the process and it's you just doing technical. If you're asked to say what's important to you, what's going on in your life, what colors, what mark making, what imagery, it's personal expression.
Like good and evil. Can art be that?
Oh, well, I think that's the opinion of the viewer, because I still have, even teachers here at school say that digital art isn't art because you're using photographs and it's not as original enough. And I'm saying, get with the times. We're trying to be contemporary. Use it as just another medium. People are still saying that graffiti isn't art. Well, look at the stairwell that comes to 5th floor. I think that's an art-filled stairwell. So it's just how you use it. Graffiti, no one wants to see your name, but if you take it beyond that and try to express with imagery combined with your name or combined with whatever, when we had the Picasso group here at South, that was an art group. So beauty's in the eye of the beholder. So it's a very argumentative question.
Is there one form of art that's superior to another, or are they all equally creative?
Oh, I think they're all equally creative. Again, it's who I'm trying to convince. I have a student teacher right now, and she's having them do graphite and colored pencil. And I said, guys, you have to try something new. I hated watercolor, hated doing watercolor, avoided it like the plague. And then I was forced to do it before I graduated, had to have a watercolor course. And because I was forced to try it, that's all I do. Why? It's cheap. I can make a bigger profit margin as a business person. But it's very expressive, and I learned to appreciate it for what it is. So every medium is just a piece of material. It's the artist that turns it into something. I'm big into upcycling too. I think cardboard is a beautiful surface to create artwork on, whereas other people think they have to have a stretched canvas or a white piece of paper. I'm big on what can you start with that isn't boring.
Art in the day-to-day life.
Oh, absolutely. That's what I try to in my digital classes, in all of my classes. I push for zero plagiarism, where you don't get your imagery off of the internet, because whoever took that picture, that was their moment. They captured that moment in time and took that picture. Just because it's shared on the internet doesn't mean it's free. It's an artwork, and you're stealing it just like you'd be stealing an English paper. There's beauty everywhere. Go in your backyard, take pictures, zoom in on some of the decaying stuff right now. Zoom in when it snows. Take a picture down 24th Street. There's all kinds of beauty around.
Everything a person makes be considered art.
No. I kind of answered that before in the fact of not everything goes on mama's fridge, okay? You have to kind of wake up, grow up, and realize that you have to kind of plan and have a purpose. And you could have the most amazing thing that you do. You have to decide, am I going to make money? Making money as an artist. And see, there's just all kinds of different levels. You want to make money as an artist, you got to decide, you know, are people going to buy it? So there's one aspect of it. Shows, those people that have the shows, they kind of dictate and decide. But I do want to say, if you have a passion for making something, stay true to it. Stay true to what you're making, your voice. You know, if there's a doodle, if there's a style that you do a person, yeah, take figure drawing and learn the real way, but still keep your style intact, because that's your voice. That's your visual communication.
Who is your favorite artist and why?
Andrew Wyeth. I have a ton of them. I'm an art teacher, so I know a ton of them, and I love a ton of them. Andrew Wyeth has been mine for forever. Why? I don't know why I'd like him, because I don't like elitism. And he's from a hoity-toity family. He was able to do art and kind of be supported doing art, so that makes me angry. But I love him anyway, because he did his neighbor lady, Christina's World, where it's the lady looking up at the house on the hill. If you saw what Christina looked like, he found beauty in Christina because it wasn't there, okay? And his dog and the old crusty studio he made into this just cool stuff. Everyday objects, finding beauty in them. I love any artist that can do simple things and find beauty in everyday what's around them.